Good morning, and how are you guys doing? I hope you're doing amazing. So, we're back working on my book. We're in editing on Echoes of the Cosmic Veil. Of course, we're absolutely at chapter 15, which makes us more than halfway through this baby. Super excited about that. Real quick, I'm going to get chat up. Now, remember, I am watching chat on a phone, so I'm not perfect about it, but I'm going to try to make sure to keep, well, I'll try to watch it. That's what I'm going to do. You guys are freaking awesome, by the way. I do want to thank you all for just being amazing, showing up every morning. I'm not the greatest editor, but we are trying to get through this. This has been an absolute fun process to write a book, just so you guys do know. If you guys are thinking about doing one yourself, I would highly recommend it. Even if it's just for fun, even if it's short and you're just telling someone. I don't remember which famous writer started off and her books were just like books she wrote, like short stories or stories she wrote and sent back and forth to her sisters. But that's one of those examples, and stuff like that. You don't know. You could have the greatest story in your mind locked away, and we all deserve to hear it. If you think you do have the greatest story, I would recommend just write it down. Start somewhere. It all starts with a couple words. And then revise it like 6 times, edit it, or buy an editor. If you have the money to, just get an editor. Oh my God, this process, it's interesting. We are improving the book as we edit. Really editing it one more time off stream-ish during the weekends to try to fix some of the stuff that isn't fixed at 5 a.m., just so you know. Okay, moving forward. You guys are awesome. We're at chapter 15. The next couple of hours, we were calm, and no one seemed to want to speak about what had just occurred. We all knew we were getting close to the prison Hulk, but we were not sure what to expect. Oh, guys, I'm going to heads up you. This chapter, I'm pretty sure I killed the shit out of a bunch of people, but I'm not 1,000,000% sure. It's either this one or the next one. Probably this one. Then a ship's officer at the sensor station said, "Sir, we have it. We have it." Akio quickly brought it up on the monitors. The prison hulk and the deep space mining station were still very far away and dwarfed by the vastness of space acting as its backdrop. As we approached, it looked as if we would have As we approached, it looked as if we would have to dock. Do we want as we or upon approaching? Let's see this. Upon. I don't use the word upon, I just realized. I might have to Google this. Holy shit. I don't use upon ever. I don't think I've ever actually used that word in my real life. I guess I just did, right? Spelling upon. Oh. Up on. Holy shit. It is 5 a.m., guys. That upon approach. Let's just go like that, right? Upon approach, it looked as if we would have to dock at the mining station and make our way through its corridors to the prison hulk. That sounds so much better. Okay, we circled the station and the prison hulk a couple of times before finding what was considered to be the best place to dock. I remembered watching Eric moving through the corridors of the mining station, using the security droids to protect him from something, but what? Once we finally docked, Akio asked everyone to make sure they were armed and ready before we boarded. We all made our way to the docking bay and put on spacesuits, making sure to keep our weapons out and keep and at the ready. I don't think we have to have it and keep put, and I think this is donned, right? Okay. Yeah, we'll just spacesuits. Okay. We all made our way to the docking bay and donned spacesuits, making sure to keep our weapons out and at the ready. I made sure everything was ready in my cyber deck. The walk down the corridor was an easy one, with Kyoto, Oren, Washington, and Zach leading the way. They had to manually open the first door, allowing us to enter the deep space mining station. From there, we made our way to the control stations so I could restore some of the station systems. The control room was a central room where four corridors merged. The doors all had been broken open at some point long ago. It was easy. Let's put not the doors because we just had. Oh no! Boom. Let me fix this. Okay, the control room was a central room where four corridors merged. The doors going into it all had been. Oh, let's see. Let's see if we fixed it. The control room was a central room where four corridors merged. The doors going into it had all been broken open at some point long ago. It was easy to patch into the station system with a direct link from my deck. The station still had around 16% power and had been shut down for years. I managed to get life support up first, knowing it would take a little while for it to get to adequate levels of air for us to breathe. Then I started turning on the other systems like lighting and controls for the door. I managed to get an idea from the station systems of what corridor we would need to take to get to the docking bay connected to the prison hall, then disconnected from the system. That is when we started to hear loud noises coming from the corridors on the left side of the room. We all knew something was wrong as we heard the sounds coming closer, and now from multiple directions. The two cyborgs, Washington and Kyoto, along with Salvador's men Frank and Bruno, covered the corridor where the noise seemed to be closest. I quickly pulled my laser pistol, aiming down the corridor straight ahead. Suddenly, from the right side right side corridor. I think we could leave it as that, but it probably could be worded better. Suddenly, from the corridor. Sorry, guys. 5 a.m. I don't think we have to say which seemed quiet. Suddenly, from the uncovered corridor on the right emerged three massive creatures. They were foul in all manner of appearance, at least 3 meters in height, covered in what looked to be rotting organic matter, having extremely sharp claws and teeth. They were what I had pictured trolls to be, and now they were in the room with us. Oren was the first to start firing, but even with his plasma rifle, he barely managed to bring one down before another one had smashed Zach once clean through. Slashed Zach once clean through with its claws. Blood flew everywhere, and even though I fired a couple shots into it, the troll grabbed him up as he struggled and screamed to get free. We watched in horror as the troll simply vanished back down the corridor, Zack in hand, Mia quickly casting a spell on the third. As it shrieked in pain, fleeing down the corridor. Sarah screamed as she fired again and again down the corridor. Zack's body had been taken. Then 2 more trolls came in the side of the room where Salvador's men, Frank and Bruno, were standing. I think we just made that the left side, right? Let me fix this. Emerged. Okay. Think we got this? Then two more trolls emerged from the left corridor where Salvador's men, Frank and Bruno, were standing ready. Frank and Bruno managed to get several shots off. We're gonna change this. Get off several shots. It sounds more normal. I don't know why I worded it the way I did there. Frank and Bruno managed to get off several shots, even taking one of the trolls down. But the second troll managed to get a hold of Frank and quickly rended him in two. Instantly, we all began firing on the second troll, its body crashing lifelessly to the ground besides Frank's. Aki yelled, "Move! We need to get to the prison hook. Just stay together and get moving or we'll all die here." Sarah was in a state of shock, still staring down the corridor where the troll had dragged Zach's body off. "Sam, which way do we go?" Akio asked. I knew it was the corridor where the trolls had just emerged from. Oh. I know why I don't like this. Good morning, by the way. Hope you're kicking butt. I know, right? Okay, so let's figure out how we fix this because I will have it fixed soon. Ready? Sarah was in a state of shock, still staring down the corridor where the troll had dragged Zach's body off. Sam, which way do we go? Do we need to go? Akio asked. I knew it was the corridor where the trolls had just emerged from. Hey, I got it. I knew it was the corridor where the trolls that had just killed Frank had come from. Akio, it's this one, I said as I pointed to the corridor with my laser pistol. Akio, Rory, Mia, Salvador, Washington, and Kyoto, along with Bruno, started moving down the corridor. Akio called, "Sam, you all need to come with us. We need you." Suddenly, Sarah left running down the corridor. Zach had been taken. Orion glanced over, saying, "We got her. Get to the prison hook." Then he, Brandon, and Toby disappeared down the corridor after her. I quickly caught up to Akio. Everyone was on edge as we moved forward. I hoped that my friends would be okay, but now it was out of my hands completely. As we approached the docking area connected to the prison hulk, we were rushed by four trolls. Bruno, Kyoto, and I concentrated our fire on one of the trolls, managing to take it down before it made it to us. Rory took down one of them with a spell that left the creature in a stupor. Mia took down the third troll with a sigil spell that caused the creature to flail around on the ground and blister as if its blood was boiling from within. The fourth troll managed to smash into us, knocking me and Salvador to the ground. Before we knew it, the troll grabbed Washington by the head and smashed it against the corridor wall with brutal force. Everyone fired in panic, so the troll fell to the and soon the troll fell to the ground dead, dropping Washington's body to the ground. Kyoto moved to Washington quickly, checking him. "He's dead. We all was all he said. with a look of anger. Akio seemed to acknowledge him with a simple pat on Kyoto's shoulder, saying, "We need to get aboard the prison hook." We quickly moved down through the corridors to the door of the prison hook. I knew we needed to get in as fast as possible, so I patched into the prison hook door to override its security settings and get it open. As I worked, two more trolls rushed us. Luckily, they were taken down before making it to us. I worked the system, and finally the door opened. Kyoto and Bruno were the first ones to go in. "It's clear, it seems." Boom. Kyoto yelled. As the rest of us began to enter the prison hook, we heard a commotion coming from down the corridor. It was Brandon, Toby, Sarah, and Orion carrying Zach's body, and it seemed they were being chased. "Wait," yelled Brandon. We moved quickly inside the prison hook, and I prepared to close the door as soon as they made it in. As my friends rushed in, trolls closely behind, I managed to close the door. Boom! I think we just fixed the shit out of 15, guys. That's an awesome accomplishment. We did that fast this morning. So tomorrow I'll be ready for chapter 16 for sure. In just a little bit, I'll be back on with Call of Dragons. We're out of season. It is just casual play, just so you know, but I'll chill out. I like to visit. I like to have coffee before I have to get around for my day. I do want to say thank you guys so much for hanging out. I do hope you have an amazing day. Peace, very best wishes, and you guys stay epic.